Okay, so I left off the other one. What if have you guys ever, has it ever crossed your mind? Ever? These tribes that like live peacefully or whatever, with a couple hundred people and mind their own business and don't fuck with nobody? What do you guys, I guess you guys think they go to hell? I don't know. I mean, how do they reincarnate out of their karma of being in a tribe? How did their good deeds get them to be able to be worthy to live in America and drive a car and have car insurance and have a job? You guys are crazy, man. Look, I'm trying to say this very simply. I can't put it any more simply right now, as of now. I'll continue to work on this because I know it needs to be simple to understand. You cannot find your true essence and your true soul healing by still being involved and attached to any religious organization, any government organization, any science organization, or anything else of that matter. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. Impossible. Because as soon as you start that game of having to go outside yourself for your salvation, that game never ends. That game now becomes the person who wants to research the most, the person who reads the best books, the person who reads the most pages, the person who understands the most, the person who has the higher IQ, the person who is willing to put in more hours studying, the person who is more willing to forego their prior conclusions based on the new knowledge, the person who is, it just never ends, guys. It literally never ends. So unless you're dedicating your life to your pursuit of your knowledge to be able to institute and stand behind whatever government institution, religious organization you believe in, whatever Buddha, whatever guru, whatever Allah, whatever Jesus, whatever anything that you guys are looking to outside of you for salvation and for answers, you'll never find your true healing. It's impossible. If you are going outside yourself, I'm saying this, if you are going to a shrink, and that shrink is doing anything more than just open-ended questions to help you realize yourself, it's all in here. We have been taught our whole lives since we were born to go outside ourselves. If you continue with that programming in your healing, you will not find true healing. You will be put on the hamster wheel with the doctors, with the drugs, with the prescriptions, with the fucking appointments, with all the money, with the insurance, with the worries, with the fears, with having to get double checked because this doctor might have misdiagnosed. Oh, and guys, the third leading cause of death in America? It's either the second or third leading cause of death in America is medical malpractice. All you people who bow down and worship your doctors and keep on returning to these doctors for your pills, that all they're doing is just giving you a Band-Aid so you don't do what I'm doing, which is actually healing. All of this, all these mental issues, all of these physical, everything's tied back to your abuse in the abusive system that we live in. All of it. All of it. But Richard, I read a book that said this. But Richard, my guru said this. But Richard, my religious said this. But Richard, the new science says this. I don't care. I don't care. That shit changes every fucking week. It changes daily. These people are constantly having to go in and change their proof to uphold these systems. These people are constantly having to find new excuses to uphold all of this shit because it's all bullshit. It's literally all bullshit, and it's all bad for you, and it's that simple. It's that simple, and people hate that. They hate being told it's that simple. People hate being told it's that simple because that means that they have the answers, that they can just sit with themselves. And that's the hardest thing in the world to do, is to sit with yourself and fix yourself. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. The absolute hardest thing to do. You need nothing outside yourself. You were brought into this world with nothing. You don't need anything. You'll leave it with nothing. But yet all you think is you need. And then you try to say that Jesus wants you to have it. That's Lucifer, bitch. That ain't Jesus. God damn it, wake up, man. Fucking people. Lucifer is the god of this world. If you guys are clinging to anything in this world, Jesus was a communist. Jesus hated the money changers, the religious dogmas, the fucking teachers, the prophets. He hated all of it. Everything you guys worship, he hated and preached against. Everything. The materialism, everything. Everything. Think about that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Jesus was against everything that this United States is for. All the give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Okay, you know what? That's a bullshit. If you guys want to follow that one, you follow that one. I give to Caesar what is Caesar's. That's what Caesar's. That's what belongs to Caesar. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. My hard dick up his ass. How about that? That's what belongs to Caesar. He never said what belonged to Caesar. Those idiots assumed it was money. Caesar needed a big swift kick in the ass. Or just to pull away, like Christ said, from the whole game. Pick up your cross. That's picking up your own personal responsibility of your soul, finding your soul's purpose, looking inside, picking up your own cross and bearing it, living with it, dying on it, to it, and being reborn, not of this world, but with peace that passes all understanding, with no desire, no lack, because your God will provide all your needs, right? Come on, guys. Quit contradicting yourselves. Quit contradicting yourselves. You can't play both games. You can't play the materialism game and the religious game. It's impossible. At least the Muslims got that right. You know, they're waiting for their shit on the other side. They're waiting for all the virgins and all that shit on the other side. You know, these Christians are holding so hard onto this life. It's ridiculous, dude. They are going to doctors just to keep them alive every second, miserable second of this life. They're so afraid of what's on the other side. They're like, they'll take anything. Give it to me. They don't care. They don't care. They'll take it. Give it to me. I don't care. You want to see what's on the other side of all this bullshit? Go inside yourself. You'll heal. It'll become apparent. You'll realize how fucking powerful you are. How pure and beautiful and strong you are. These religions try to tell people, you know, in these gurus, oh, you're an evil person. Oh, you're a bad, evil person. You need salvation. You need someone. You need this to save you. It's all horseshit, guys. Why are you letting people tell you what you need? When have you ever sat with yourself? With yourself. Look, and if you're indoctrinated into this shit and then you think you're just going to sit with yourself all of a sudden one day, Look, and you've allowed and you've prayed and you've put cast these spells upon yourself to be blinded by this shit. When you sit with yourself, you're not truly sitting with yourself. Oh, and Jesus came to me. Yeah, this entity came to you and told you exactly what you needed to do, right? You're being bamboozled. You're being played. This realm is playing you. It's keeping you involved, keeping your energy involved and grinding you down and using you. We're breaking the chains, breaking the ties that bind, that got put on us at birth through an abusive system. We were abused at birth, and we were put on a program, and we have been downloaded and on that program ever since. And now, those of us who are healing, the first thing you have to do is recognize that this healing, true healing, can only come from within. There's no magic pill. There's no magic doctor. You know, all that stuff's called pharmakeia. It's so satanic. Oh my God, you guys. Oh, it gives me so much dissonance. So much dissonance to know that Christians are going to these doctors and getting hooked up with all these medications. It's creates so much dissonance in my head. It goes completely against, like, it's unbelievable what it does to my brain. But yeah, the healing is from within, guys. Again, common sense. If you think that your healing is going to come from without you, then you're on a never-ending quest for knowledge. Why do you think everything you go outside you is a Band-Aid? All these medications, all these gurus, all this self-help, all this positive thinking, all this Jesus, all this Allah, it's all just a Band-Aid. Why do you think you have all this confusion you can never get rid of? Why do you think you have all this inner turmoil? You're constantly fighting a war inside of you. It's because your soul, you're trying to do two things. You're trying to live within your soul. You're trying to say you're living within your soul while you're just healing your religious aspects and physical aspects of you. You're not healing your spirit. You're healing the religious dogmas. You're healing your physical body enough. That's all you're doing. Just enough to get back in the rat race and on the program and playing the game and being an energy vampire, an energy fucking sucker. You know what I mean? What about all these people that are born without your knowledge, that aren't even exposed to your knowledge throughout the history of the world? What happened to them? Since they didn't have your savior and your guru and your answers. What happened to the... Trillions of people, trillions and trillions and trillions of souls. They all just go to hell by this loving God because they didn't ask for salvation? Or they didn't pray to this guru? It makes no sense. And in order to even... The only thing you can do to refute that is to speak a million words and go around and beat the bush and gaslight and do all this other shit. Because you have to use all this knowledge, all this acquired knowledge. Jesus isn't speaking to you. Jesus isn't telling you what to say. There's entities. Yeah, I believe there's entities that can control you and come into you and speak in tongues and do all this other stupid shit. Sure. There's all kinds of weird, fucked up laws that this realm works under. There's all kinds of things that can happen. But I'm saying us, human to human. Fuck all the spirits, fuck all the shit we can't see. Fuck all that. Just me and you, human to human. My spirit to your spirit. Human to human. Do no harm. Right? Do no harm. It's that simple. Do no harm. Does it, I mean, what do you want to add to that? Do no harm. You know? Because your religious leaders have thousands of laws and rules and things that they want you to live by. Your government has hundreds of thousands. I mean, like I said, I can't even remember. The United States has like 100,000 laws on the books. It's so fucking ridiculous. It's mind blowing. It's not even fathomable. It's ridiculous. To keep you safe, right? You know what I mean? I'm tired of people trying to keep me safe. I'm going all the way back. I'm going full retard. I'm going all the way back. I'm healing. I'm not accepting anybody else's knowledge. I'll speak to another human. I'll take another human, like their ideas, their thoughts, their true thoughts, what they're contemplating at the moment. I'll take that all day long, no matter how crazy it sounds. What I can't take is talking to somebody that thinks they're going to fix the system. The system isn't broken. It's operating exactly as it should. So I can't talk to those people because those people they live in la la land. I can't talk to somebody who's going to tell me to just have positive thoughts and, oh man, it's all about how you look at it. True, I know that. You can change your perspective. That's what I did my whole life. I kept a good perspective on things. I kept a very positive perspective through all that shit that I told you guys happened to me that you guys have heard so far, and it's not even touching on the ocean of shit, of detailed shit I went through in my life. So not even touching on that. Man, I was supposed to calm down in this video. And that's the thing. That's part of my healing. I'm figuring out. I don't need a book. I don't need a guru. I don't need an expert. I don't need a neurologist. I don't need a fucking psychiatrist, psychologist. I don't need any of those cocksuckers. Fuck them all. Fuck them all. Every single fucking one of them. They can go put their muzzles on and put poison in their veins and fuck off and leave me the fuck alone. I don't need any of that. What I need is time to heal. I need an environment, a calm environment, a peaceful environment, an environment I don't feel like at any moment I'm going to fucking die in. And that's really it. That's in time, just time. I need time. Why do I need time? Probably because my shit is so fucked up and still tangled, and it's a lot to work through. I don't know anybody who's ever done hours-long therapy sessions every fucking day in and day out, while healing, while living a regular life, while trying to keep a roof over their heads. I'm not trying to torture myself. This is literally the only peace I'm finding. Because the world out there is so against peace. The world out there is completely opposite of calm and peaceful. I step out my front door and it is completely against calm and peace. I get moved out to the farmhouse, it's going to be a different story. At least I can step out my front door and be in a calm and peaceful environment. But all these fucking energies out here, all these neighbors, all these energies, I have fucking all that Wi-Fi shit right out there, 5G, all these frequencies running through here. But yeah, those are just things, that are like, I'll die for that. I'll die for that. Like if somebody was like, okay, well, put a gun to my head and told me, well, you got to say you believe in Jesus, or I'm going to shoot you right in the fucking face. I'll be like, dude, please shoot me in the fucking face and get this shit over with. That's where I'm at. If someone put a gun to my head and told me to vote for the next president, I'd say, oh man, please do me a favor. Shoot me. That's where I'm at, guys. I'm looking for a tribe of people that when we get sick, one of us gets sick, the rest of them are going to come and give them a hug and thank them for taking one for the team, basically. That's the tribe I'm looking for. That's the only kind of community that my brain can handle. That's it. I can't handle any kind of community that is relying on materialists. I cannot be in any kind of community that enjoys the things of this world, because I don't. I mean, I enjoy the beauty of being outside in nature, but that's it. I don't enjoy anything man-made anymore. Other than, not being froze to death right now in the middle of winter. But I would gladly make my own little hut and fucking my own little heat and space. I don't have a problem doing that. And living out till I die. Just to go like this to this materialist society. That's how disgusting and abusive it is. Just to know that there's billions and billions and billions of people out there slaving in slave conditions. That way you guys can have all your little heart's desires, all your little things that you think you deserve that Christ gave you. That's how Christians talk. Oh, Jesus knew I needed this. Oh, Jesus knew I needed this. Fucking crazy. Yeah, why some little fucking 10-year-old that works 20 hours a day in a fucking sweatshop made it for you. Because Jesus knew you needed it. Because you accepted him as Lord and Savior. But that little 10-year-old Chinese kid has no clue who Jesus is. So he's going straight to hell. So he might as well make the things that make your ass comfortable, right? You guys, that's what I'm saying. Y'all are dangerous. Y'all are dangerous. You guys that believe in that shit are dangerous. Because you hate people like me. Speaking my truth. Not attached to any kind of anything. So there's nothing for you to war against. Except for me. And who am I? It literally comes down to being that fucking simple, guys. It literally fucking comes down to being that simple. And that's how things change. We all change ourselves. And that's how things change. Because the system's going to crumble. People are so afraid to heal because they're like, well, if I heal the proper way, then the system can't keep going. The cognitive dissonance I see in people is unreal, but the dissonance I see in people is unreal. Slaving away to uphold systems that enslave us. But I'm done, that's not where I'm at. Like I said, for me, that is soul crushing. To have to even try to defend any kind of other being or entity or somebody, why that's just weird. Why would I have to evangelize for somebody else? None of it makes sense. It's all false beliefs. It's all self-indoctrination. It's all bullshit. I'm healing myself. The only thing that matters is my soul and my human-to-human connection with each individual that I come in contact with. That's all that matters. Everything else is outside of myself and is not real. It's all a part of this matrix. It's all a part of this realm. And I don't want anything to do with it. I want to heal and I want to be around true souls. And that's all I want for the rest of my life. That's it. I have no desire for any kind of new car, any kind of new thing, any kind of possession. You know, like I've said before, the only thing I need are my tools. That way I can fucking work and keep working, so that way I can keep a roof over my head, you know? That's it. Yeah, and I mean that, and I have no fear. I have no desire or lack. When I speak of being afraid, I am afraid to go outside of this fucking house. I am afraid. That does scare me because I'm so wounded. I'm so fucking open wounded right now. Like, it's bad. Like, I mean, who the fuck is open wounded walking around like that? You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I just got to be really careful. Not so much careful, just I have to be aware. I have to constantly be aware of my soul. And I am. And being outside and talking to my buddy today, I realized, you know, I am constantly aware of everything. So it doesn't bother me. I just got to work on myself, keeping calm in conversation, not trying to prove any points. And just speaking out of love. Like, I think, you know, what I need to do is start, when I speak, I need to just focus on speaking out of love with no agenda, no trying to make points, no trying to prove a point, no trying to make a statement, you know, maybe just speak out of love. And I mean, goddamn, have I ever done that, you know, other than my kids? I don't know. And rarely, I mean, you know, we say these things when you really think, I mean, goddamn, I mean, truly just speaking out of love, like straight. It's funny how we say, oh yeah, I do that all the time. Probably haven't done it in 20 years, you know what I mean? If ever. But anyways, yeah, so just reminiscing, just getting thoughts out of my head. Oh, my daughter I took her last night, I think, yesterday, to her mom's. Her sister was off school today, so they hung out today. Even though they went to her mom's work and hung out at her mom's work. But yeah, she's up there. She was gonna come back today, but she asked me, you know, is it all right if I stay? I'm like, it's not up to me, honey. You know, it's fine. Do what you do, you know. It's just, man, it's just sad to know, like, the pool that she has is all a fabrication. It's all something that somebody created for her. You know, and that's sad. But it's giving me, what it's doing is, as I'm realizing that more and more, and that just becomes more and more clear to me, of how we are living unless we go back and heal from being a child, a baby, and understand that kind of healing, and accept that we have been abused in the programming that we've been put on since then, and try to recognize our soul from way back then, you're trying to heal from a program. It's not going to work. You're going to heal just enough to get back on and create energy for whatever program that you're running on. And these miracle healings that you see and all that shit, that is just, you are being given enough healing to keep the program going, guys. That's what I'm saying. This shit works by laws, and the universe works by laws, and these spiritual realms works by laws that allow you to be able to manipulate it, yes, and be able to heal in certain ways. But I'm talking about, I do not consider healing the ability to go out there and fucking overcome tragedy. Let's say all of a sudden I overcame my tragedy, right? Let's say all of a sudden I overcame my tragedy. I wrote a fucking #1 hit bestseller. I went on Oprah and all these TV shows and became a multimillionaire and taught people how to overcome tragedy. No, and then I got back in the game and all of a sudden I'm a millionaire with all this shit. No, that is not healing. That is not success. That is selling out. That is nothing. I don't want any of that. I don't want that. I want to go live in a teepee hut somewhere with a few other people who care when I'm hurt. That's what I want. That's all that matters to me. That's what I'm looking for, because that's what my soul tells me that's all that matters. All this attainment of knowledge and wealth and stuff that you guys think is so great that shows how much Jesus loves you is not what I want. I don't want any of it. You can have it. I'm not competing with you for any of it. So please don't look at me as an enemy, because you can have it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I have billionaire family members. I don't want any other money. I don't want it. They can keep it. Give it to somebody else. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm looking for the hut. I'm looking for the open air hut. I'm looking for a few other people. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what pronoun. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I just want those people to care when I'm hurting. That's it. And we can grow our little garden and, do whatever else we got to do to survive. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm completely fine with never driving another fucking car again in my life. I am fine with that. If I don't have a car, that means I don't have to pay car insurance. That means I don't have to go somewhere. And guys, when I think about not having things, it makes me so happy. That shit makes me happy because, like, when I think about it, it's like, wow, if I didn't have that, I can reclaim that part of myself. That's how I look at this shit. I don't want to fix this system. There's no fixing this system. This system is meant to be the way it is, to create lack, to create winners and losers, to crush 99% of people and lift up 1%. That's what this whole system is. I don't want any of it. None of it. I want the system that upholds the 99%, and that one whacked out weirdo who can't get along can go find a different community that completely supports and enables him, if that's the case. You know what I mean? And this is the farthest I've ever delved into the whole thinking of community and how it would work. But, that is interesting, these small communities that just band together and live peacefully. They don't have diseases in those communities. There's not stress. They don't call each other names. Nobody's putting each other down. Nobody's saying, oh, you lack knowledge. When they're not going, oh my God, guys. We live so wrong. We live so wrong. The more I put myself into like what it would be like living in a community, like being born peacefully and living peacefully without all this noise and this frequencies and these interferences and this lack and desire and materialism and Jesus and gurus and salvation and all of this shit and doctors and oh my God. I'm just like, man, the more I put myself into imagining what that would be like, it's completely feasible. Like, to live peacefully on this earth is feasible. You can do it. People do it. Communities do it. Aborigines do it. And if you don't think so, and you're like, well, they can't be peaceful. They can't. They gotta be in pain. They gotta be like, why? Because they don't have cars? Because they don't have designer clothing? Because they aren't paying taxes? Because they don't have doctors? Why? Oh, well, because they got bones through their nose and they, they mutilate their young and mind your own fucking business. You abuse your young. You force chemicals into their veins from the day they're born. What do you care if some peaceful people, a group of 200 people are doing that are minding their own fucking business in the middle of nowhere? What do you care? So yes, I think you could, but you can't live peacefully on this earth if you're buying off Amazon. Because if you're buying off Amazon, if you're buying from these big companies, if you're supporting slave labor, you're supporting the whole system. You're supporting the lack that you think you have. I mean, can't you guys understand that lack and desire only come when you look outside yourself? If you don't understand that, all that says to me is you've never sat inside yourself before, which means you have intense anxiety. Because that's what I had to get over. My severe anxiety. And I had to learn how to sit with myself. And my thoughts, and process my thoughts by myself with no outside interference. I had to break the dogma of religion. I was told as a young kid that Jesus was putting all this abuse on me and wanted all this abuse on me, but that I needed it because I was bad. And when I got away from that, physically got away from it, I couldn't get away from it psychologically or spiritually because it had already taken its chains on me. It already put its bind on me. So I was hooked up to this Jesus for 20 more years. Suffering shame and guilt every day because of this Jesus that I had bound myself to at a young age. And it took understanding that, wait a minute, if I just lived on an island somewhere and grew up on an island, I wouldn't know any of this shit. So by not knowing any of this shit, would that make me a bad person? Does that mean I'm going to hell? So I just started thinking these things and I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. You should be able to survive just fine all by yourself because your body, our biological system is like nature is unreal, man. It's so amazing. But yeah, I had to take it all the way back to birth. And when I take it all the way back to birth, I realized that we were put on a program. And that program is to make you believe that you need things outside yourself to exist. That's what that program is. That's the original programming, the OG programming put on all our asses, from what I can tell. I don't know, man. Not yet. I don't know exactly yet, but this is where I'm at right now. I would say the OG programming that we're on was put on us at birth through the abuse, and that programming, that written programming, is just a basic programming to make you believe that you are in lack, and in order to fill that lack, you have to go outside yourself. Yeah. I feel better. I'm glad. See, and this is my therapy, This is my therapy, guys, and I'm telling you, you can heal yourself. I'm healing myself. I'm still a mess because, dude, I still have a lifetime of shit to figure out. You know what I mean? I'm still knee deep in my healing. in major healing, 43 years worth of needed healing. So, and I'm doing it all myself. I'm not going outside myself. I don't think I have something to learn. I don't think there's any knowledge out there necessary for my healing. And what I'm trying to say is you can do this too. I'm speaking into a phone. I made mine public. I have kids that I'm responsible for, and I have no shame. So my shit needed to just get the fuck out there. Okay? And it's good that it did, come to find out, because I had family run around, stab me in the back, and acting like little assholes because they love this earth and all the material shit that's in it more than their own fucking family. So, it's good. At least I was able to protect myself in that manner from those cocksuckers, from their passive-aggressive bullshit. But yeah, even saying that, I love them. I wish, they would be the ones out in that hut with me. If I could choose my hut people, I already have them. They're my family and close friends. I know my hut people. But I don't know any of them that want to get in a hut with me. And right now, I wouldn't want to get in a hut with me either. I'm not healed. I'm, dealing with things. So, but I'm saying, once I'm healed, I don't know anybody that wants to I don't know anybody that's willing to give up any of this. I don't know anybody. Let me say that again. I don't know anybody that's willing to give up any of this. That's pretty powerful. I don't know anybody that's willing to give up any of this material world. I don't know anybody. And pick their cross and follow me. I don't know anybody. Because I wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind, but I don't know anybody who is willing to give up the materialism of this world. I don't know anybody who is willing to give up the materialism of this world. I don't know anybody who is willing to give up the materialism of this world. I was thinking about that today. I was like, well, shit, man, if it came down to it and I lost everything, I would just have to, because I thought about it, I was like, man, I'd still like to make videos but I'm like, because that means I'd have to own a phone, which means I'd have to pay a phone bill, which means I'm attached. So what do you do when you heal? You just disappear? Maybe. Maybe that's why the Christ story was written, because Christ's story is all of our stories, And it was written one time. It's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than for even a poor American to get into heaven. Because these poor Americans are holding on to their bread and circuses. They're holding on to this world with their last dying breath. You have people literally just taking pills to stay alive in this miserable existence, praising Jesus. Cognitive dissonance, guys. Cognitive dissonance. Complete cognitive dissonance. If you believed in an afterlife that's so great and a Jesus that's waiting with open arms for you, why are you clinging on to this miserable existence? Wouldn't you just naturally let Jesus take the wheel and heal you? when you just naturally, I mean, that's natural. That would be just say your prayers and trust in Jesus, right? Right? I'm not making fun of you. I used to be you. Just trust in Jesus. He's going to take care of it all. Put your cares on Jesus. Believe in him. What's that? You're still having problems? Oh, you haven't put your beliefs in him yet. What's that? You say, you're one of those who say they did. Oh, I got you. Hey guys, he's one of them. Oh, look, you see him? See him suffering over there? You see him? Yeah, well, we'll have to pray for that one. Yeah. I have to pray for him. Yeah, okay, buddy. You know what I mean? It's all about self-righteousness, man. You guys really need to think what you're saying when you say you're following Jesus. But yeah, man, my healing is going well. I mean, this is deep. This is such deep healing. This is such incredibly deep healing. And what I'm intuiting, why it's so powerful, is because when you are verbalizing, getting things out that society does not allow, that you haven't been able to get out, because, you know, we're beat as babies to say the things that we're supposed to say and not say, right? At least I was raised like that. I was beat. So you realize that you've been saying things that aren't even coming from you. So as you're finally speaking your truth, when you're finally getting your truth out and speaking your truth, you realize how buried it was underneath all the narcissistic gaslighting, manure, horse shit these cocksuckers could throw at you your whole life. So when it comes out, that means that in order for it to come out, that means you're making room. And that means that shit is it's like the Red Sea. That shit is departing. It is dividing. It is moving. It is getting out of the fucking way. You know? So doing some major healing. To be able to talk about these things and not be completely enraged and overcome with emotion, being able to go to work for a couple hours today, being able to socialize with my buddy today. Absolutely phenomenal what this healing is doing. Man, I'm glad people are watching, man. I'm not selling anything. I don't sell anything. I'm not asking for anything. I have billionaire family members that don't give me anything. So I can't bring myself down to ask anybody for anything. I'm not making money. I mean, I don't know how YouTube even works. I mean, I barely have the technological skill, know-how to be able to put these videos on YouTube. You know what I mean? That's all I know how to do. I know how to record a video on my phone and then put it on YouTube. That's as far as my technological prowess goes. You know? So I'm not editing. None of this has been edited. No, I haven't edited a fucking thing. I've got hundreds of hours of videos and I haven't edited a fucking thing. Hundreds. I don't have hundreds of hours of videos. Damn, I probably got quite a bit though. I got over 100. I know that. I've done a lot of documenting. And all my shit's out there. I took that little hiatus in my documentation while my son was living here at that time. He wasn't here that often. Because he was working in Winchester and living and doing things in Winchester. but I took a hiatus because I had hit a plateau with my physical healing, and I had gotten back into work and getting my kids back. Well, I go through and explain all that in a video. Yeah, I did an explanation video of that already, but I'm just working through things in my head because it really is amazing. Like, I'm just sitting here wondering, like I'm doing all this healing. It's all documented. I'm not asking anybody for anything. I don't have any agendas. I'm not pushing any kind of groupthink or agenda whatsoever. I'm talking about against everything. So I have nothing to gain. I'm completely cognitive. Like I'm you know, when I talk about brain issues I'm doing, it's like when the mania comes on, or the anger, you know, that's what I'm talking, or the confusion, you know. I'm not talking brain issues like I think I'm a purple elephant. Get the fuck out of here. No, it's like torture. It's fucking torturous. I'm being tortured daily. I live with torture. I live in pain. I've lived in pain and suffering my whole life. I used alcohol my whole life and anything else that this world would give me to just numb the pain. I realized at a very young age that I would have to have and walk around with a positive attitude and look on the brighter side of life and be an optimist, because otherwise I was not going to make it. So I am able, and I understand the power of changing your perspective. But changing your perspective doesn't change what things are. And what I'm doing is I'm facing what things are, because I'm realizing that by changing my perspective, it's just allowing me enough energy to keep fucking grinding for this system. And I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I'm finished. I am looking, if I'm looking for anything outside myself, which I'm not, but if I were to, it would just be other human souls that I would be comfortable living in a community with, you know, whether that be a hut or a larger community, whatever. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want anything else. Nothing. Nothing. Except for the love of my kitty. But yeah, so doing good, man. And I'm happy that I keep making these videos. Like, I don't want to. You know, the shame and guilt is unreal. It continues. It's constant. The thing that tells me to shut up, the thing that tells me I'm lying, the thing that tells me, you know, all these things, these nasty things, you know, is there. It's a constant thing that I'm battling with right now because I'm healing, you know, because I got all this opened up. So it's just, I got myself in pretty torturous right now. But it's nothing I can't handle. Just another fucking day of healing. So I'm good. You know? But I just, man, it rocks my mind, you know, to know that there are people that are so coddled in this world. Like, it blows my mind to know that people are so coddled. Like, an inconvenience to them is not being able to watch their television show. You know? That just blows my mind. an inconvenience to them is the cold. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Man, it just, and it brings me back to it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than he is for a poor American, Christian American, to get to heaven. That's my new saying, I think. It's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than for a poor Christian American to get to heaven. That's how hard they got to work. And I'll end it there.